Most of us are familiar with the stereotypes of waitstaff, car wash attendants, cashiers, and any number of other service positions. Lazy, bad attitude, no work ethic, the list goes on. While there are a few who fit these stereotypes, the truth is that most service positions are filled by hardworking folks just trying to be decent and get by. Having a service job is a valuable experience for anyone because it teaches important interpersonal lessons. I have held service positions as a cashier, McDonald's employee, sales associate, service desk supervisor, and certified nursing assistant, and my life has been infinitely blessed by the lessons I learned in each of these roles. You can better yourselves and others by gaining experience in a position where your ability and impetus to serve are challenged every day. The three most important lessons a service job teaches are humility, patience, and selflessness. To begin, humility is a trait powerfully learned through service to others. Being paid to do service makes it a necessity, not a luxury. A phrase first popularized in 1909 by Harry Gordon Selfridge, which is now common in service industries, is, "The customer is always right." While this may not actually be the case, it is meant to encourage an employee to assume the responsibility to please and pacify a customer within any reasonable means. Kohl's, where I worked, has an excellent policy which allows associates to follow through on this idea, called Yes, We Can. Associates have the right and the responsibility to correct pricing, give discounts, and manage all types of payment on merchandise. They also have many resources with which they can find or order merchandise for customers. This also means that they have the responsibility to do as the customer says, as long as it falls in the realm of what they are legally able to do. Sometimes this causes conflict, but remembering that it is the associate's job to be submissive and live by the company's policy can turn a possibly negative experience into a positive feeling of success. It also teaches that sometimes the customer really is right, and being a know-it-all or being lazy are not appropriate, nor do they encourage a friendly, happy atmosphere. Humility is a byproduct of a service-oriented business. Humility is an admirable trait to develop in order to avoid conflict and foster friendliness, trust, and respect. The next important lesson to be learned is patience. Leo Tolstoy said, "Patience is waiting, not passively waiting, that is laziness. But to keep going when the going is hard and slow, that is patience." In service, there is a lot of waiting. Waiting on customers to make up their minds, waiting for them to pay, waiting for them to explain something, waiting for them to leave. The list is endless. There is also waiting for managers, co-workers, and administration to make changes, implement new or existing policies, become better colleagues, and so on. As a service desk supervisor for Kmart, I had to learn a great deal of patience. Customers were dissatisfied with the company and its policies, with the products they had purchased, and with me for not giving them what they wanted. Keeping a cool head and maintaining my ground were key to staying successful in my position. I gained recognition because of my ability to stay patient with customers, not just until they left, but until I clocked out. Being patient does not mean letting things slide, regardless of your thoughts and feelings on the matter. It means having understanding towards others' feelings and motivations. An article on mindtools.com explains, "Many of us struggle with impatience, but if we want healthy work relationships and a successful career, then we need to spend time making patience a habit." Learning patience is a key to communicating more effectively, building trust, and encouraging understanding on the part of others. Lastly, service workers learn selflessness. Giving time, energy, and resources to others every day necessarily promotes selflessness in the giver. Others will recognize and appreciate this character trait. Neuroscientists have found through brain scans that when people cooperate in games in which they share hypothetical money, the reward centers of their brains light up, reflecting a pleasurable experience, stated Robin Moroney. When I worked as a certified nursing assistant, I became more selfless than in any other circumstance with which I have been presented in my life. Having to help others with normal daily activities like eating and getting dressed put my own life in perspective. I realized how much I was blessed to be able to do, and I realized that I had more than enough ability to help others. I grew to love those for whom I cared, and I wanted to see them happy and comfortable. The experiences which I have had that have increased my selflessness have given me insight into other aspects of my life, such as other jobs, relationships, and interpretation of news stories. Being selfless leads to loving others, which in turn leads to them loving you. As is evident, the lessons learned in a service position will benefit everyone. The majority of those in service positions are not lazy or unmotivated. They are hardworking and are gaining experience which will prepare them to be more successful in life. This experience consists of learning, humility, patience, and selflessness. These lessons make all the difference in interpersonal relationships throughout life. There is no way to learn these that is as all-encompassing as having a service job. If you have not had the privilege of serving as a profession or know someone else who hasn't, I urge you to encourage participation in this noble pursuit, that all may be benefited by the experience.